Hello again. I know it's not Sunday, but I just wanted to say hi to y'all and also say, or at least encourage you to possibly not give in to fear, give in to hopelessness, give in to anger. Now, we all have what we want to happen, and sometimes you don't get what we want, but that doesn't change a damn thing. Your choices are thus. You can take them if you want them. Give in to those feelings because the environment is telling you that you must. Or you can choose how you feel right now and what you do and create your environment. Now, sometimes that's a challenge, and right now, for some, it might be. I had my feelings about it too. I just know that the way I always did things is not the way I always need to do things. Sometimes I must be okay with what is. And don't allow those things, whatever it is, even if it's something I don't want, essentially, or something I don't think, that's a toughie. Even if it is that, cannot drop an elbow or use force to get my way. Sometimes I must be still and allow, find joy, or choose joy, choose happiness, sing, dance, all those things that I typically do. If I feel a little down in the dumps or whatever, I don't feel that. And I've experienced so many people over the last 48 hours just in grief. And I have no problem whatsoever at this time reminding them that they can choose not to be that. Nobody's allowed to take it from you, but you just gonna hand it over? Come on. It's a gentleman I just met for the first time that told me he went door knocking. And it's like, it's all for nothing. And that was his whole thing. He just kept repeating that. I was like, was it all for nothing? Did you imagine meeting me today? And this is a gentleman that's probably in his late 50s, early 60s. For lack of better terminology at this time, descriptively, on the surface level, he's Caucasian, so a white male in that age bracket. I've spent a lot of time in my life being uncertain amongst those because of the stories previously told to me and handed down to me from experiences of my predecessors and ancestors, as well as experiences I've had. And so there are times I have to look back and watch to see if that's a safe person or not, or just avoid it altogether so I don't even have to do all that. But in that moment, when I met this person for the first time, he thought, sitting there, he was literally drowning his sorrows. And in his mind, he was defeated. Dude, what was his name? I hate that I'm forgetting his name. I just met him yesterday, and I'm not always great with names the first time I meet somebody. But I've been going to the spot for years. I've told you about it. I'd never met him before. And his whole thing was to sit there by himself and drown his sorrows. And he just kept talking out loud to himself, and that was the thing he was talking about. And I said, not for nothing. It's a powerful thing you attempted to do. That's one. But the thing you ended up doing was, there are more people right now that saw you as something that wasn't a threat. He's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I said, oh no? I'm not going to sit here and regale you of the experiences I've had even just moving into this area. And literally, You're the first person that looks like you that I immediately felt safe with. And you revealed that you were sad about something that you didn't have to do. You're already experiencing privilege. You were doing it so others would experience equality. And somehow you feel in that act that it didn't work out in a favor that you wanted to work out in. But I'm sitting next to you, telling you that it matters to me that you exist. And that you are potentially overrun with emotions that, in the grand scheme of things in this current system, you don't have to be. You can just enjoy your privilege. But instead, you're not online talking about it. You're here, feeling sad for someone else and hoping that you did a better job. Maybe, just maybe, be joyful in what you can do. And one of the things you just did was let me know that there's somebody safe. That somebody that looks like you can be safe, completely and utterly safe, for me to just exist around. And that might feel like a small feat to you, but it's a big deal to me. And he just stared at me. He's like, I wish I can tell you I feel completely better after hearing you say that. But it did lift me up a little bit. But I'm still so angry. And I just say, you're allowed. Everyone's allowed their feelings, and I don't think you should just cover them up and bottle them up. It usually come out some way ugly after that, if you do. But I just wanted to give you that. I had no intention to give nobody nothing today. I felt like I just wanted to sit with a friend. And I was sitting with my friend, and she joined in and said, I would say everything she just said, and maybe a little bit more, but I think that was said perfect. The fact that you exist and that you tried. I can tell you one thing. I'm not too far removed from my grandmothers that never met one person like you. One generation removed from them never having sat randomly somewhere and met someone that looks like you, your age demographic, that was an ally, a true ally. Because you're not outside somewhere burning something down or being violent. You're sitting here processing your emotions because of the empathy you felt towards other people. And to me, that's good enough. I tell you all the time, sorry, I'm a little emotional. Because that was an emotional moment for me. It's not very often I get that kind of experience after not being sure what the future holds and releasing control. It was hard for me to release that control and release responsibility and release and accept what is. Because previous to now, I was like a battle axe. I didn't care what was fair and what wasn't. What was right was what I thought was right. And even if I felt like something was wrong or somebody was making a wrong decision, twist the knobs and do little things here and there to change things to make it what I perceive to be fair for everyone. I don't think that's always completely wrong, but it's not always completely right. So I have to find balance in that, but also remember that my cup needs to remain full too. And I've had some misgivings about releasing control. Like, despite anything else I've experienced, I've had misgivings about it. And he don't know what he did for me. He did more for me in that moment than I did for him in saying anything. Because I had just been thinking, now what? Did I make the right choice? Now we'll never fully be free. Maybe I should have done more. Maybe I shouldn't have released. Maybe I shouldn't have let go. Maybe I should have kept holding on to them ropes until my hands were raw, bloody, and down the bones, metaphorically speaking. Just doubting. And this random man just sat next to me with empathy in his heart. A human being that sometimes I never expect to have that. And those are the moments that I live for sometimes. And when I say live for, living is action sometimes. Getting up and keep going is action sometimes. And sometimes I just want to give up the work that I do sometimes because it's hard sometimes. And I know I'm saying sometimes a lot. I want you to hear me. Because there are days I get up and I spring out of bed and I'm ready. I'm ready to battle. But then there are days when there have been days, not recently, and I'm grateful for that, but there have been days where I lay there and ask the universe to take me, please. Make it painless and take me right now. And nothing is on fire around me. The sky is not falling. It's just that living amongst human beings and in this life and experiencing so much sadness gets to be too much. So I needed that. And even though I forget his name right now, I appreciate his existence. Because I was really doubting myself. Then having a moment. And then I remembered. Just like I was telling him. I'm choosing joy and happiness. Can't nobody take that from me. Like, who the hell is anybody else to come over here and try to take something from? I'm stronger than that. Always have been. And I suggest you be stronger than that too. Because I'd be damned if you gonna threaten to take away my freedoms and all kinds of other things that are unsavory. And also, I'm going to freely give you my joy. Absolutely not. So I choose happiness. I choose joy. I choose to find joy and happiness, and wherever I gotta find joy and happiness. So I spent the rest of the evening just mingling amongst friends. Anybody who tried to bring anything up that was something that I knew was going to bring me down, I was like, absolutely not. So I'm going to go ahead and change the subject or be like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to this person real quick. It was nice talking to you and just move on. This is not ignoring the issues or the problems, no, by any means. This is more of a, until I actually have to act, it's okay to be happy. Because I do know from experience, and I don't know about y'all, but I'll tell you mine. Y'all gonna have to excuse it. I just realized, no, those are clean dishes behind me, y'all. I just have them drying on the side there. I just realized dishes was in my background. But I wash them by hand and dry them by air. Anyway, I realized that even in disappointment and sadness, we have to feel our feelings and our emotions and process properly, right? But if we sit in something so long that we can't do nothing about, then all we're doing is spinning our wheels and wearing ourselves out. And I've done that so many times in my life, and I'm just like, you know what? I've never gotten a good result from that. So I choose not to do that anymore. When I'm feeling a feeling that is uncomfortable, I examine that feeling for all its parts and see where it's coming from. And I'm like, I validate myself, right? And then after that, excuse me, I got a little snot. Then after that, I figure out what, if anything, I could do about it. Whether it's something large or something small. And then I get into doing that. That's it. So in that moment, the only thing I could do about my feelings and his was speak how I felt in that moment. If nothing else, giving him gratitude for his existence. It seemed to do something for him. I don't know. But it definitely did something for me. It let me know that there's, believe it or not, and I know there's people signaling to everybody that will listen to them, that there's more people that dislike and hate your existence than there are people who love your existence. And I tell you, experience the world anew from your eyes only. Give yourself the opportunity to not see that for face value, but also experience. Because I'm going to tell you, and I know some people might dissent from what I'm about to say, I understand. Because not long ago, I would have been you. Not all of the people who voted a specific way did so because they hate you. And I know it feels that way. I'm not going to make judgments or pass judgments on with enough people are out there doing that. I don't need to. Now, if you ever confused about my vibration, goal, missions, whatever, mine, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Just got hit. Mine is love. Unconditional, unwavering love. And that does not have a color. It does not have a political party. It does not have any of the superficial descriptive things that we have covering, what some govern as a soul, what some scientifically would govern as our energy, the thing that makes this body move, the thing that turns off the life when you're ready to go. None of those things matter to me. And I know some might say, it's supposed to, because they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But what if? What if? It doesn't matter who's in there. As long as they divide us. Wouldn't it be a gas, as the old folks used to say, wouldn't it be a gas? If you start to not hate your neighbor, but love them despite those things. And have conversations about those things. Not arguments necessarily, unless they're philosophical and the point is to exchange ideas. But actually just communicate with each other. Not protest against each other, not fight against each other, not hurt against each other. But say, I love you. I may not like that, but I love you. What if we tried that? I think we could. I know my numbers are probably small. And when I say my numbers, I mean the people I have kinship with. I don't think there's an us in them. I still don't. I think there's an energy. Like we choose to engage or not. And it's not necessarily a specific person or people. You're being instructed to hate each other, whether you realize it or not, over time. It is a theater that's having y'all see things from two different perspectives because y'all will get along too well. Do you understand? See, some of y'all don't get what I'm about to say. Some of y'all might not. I hope all of you get it. I think y'all are capable of getting it. Before it became commercialized and people started taking credit for it and all these things. When Black Lives Matter, the love, the outpour of support, the togetherness that happened, scared the hell out of all of those who want to continue to subjugate populations across the world. It scared them. And you can take that and run forward with it, and you'll see a trajectory. And we start to divide and conquer again, then we'll get the reins back of this whole thing. Y'all have to decide if you want to let them. You don't have to. You don't have to. That is all. You're loved.